Hello to everyone who clicked on this video. My name is TayRB. If you are new, and if you are not, welcome back, of course. Thank you to everyone who continues to support me, and of course, all of my new subscribers. I am back with another pick a card for you guys, and today we're going to be taking a look at what are people secretly thinking or saying about you, okay? All of the tea is coming out in this video. So I have three piles here in front of me. Pile number 1 is to your left and pile number 3 is to your right. I'm going to have all of the timestamps linked in the description box down below for you guys, and I will see you at your pile. Hello to everyone who chose pile number 1. This is going to be your reading on what are people secretly thinking about you and saying about you. I'm going to jump right in with some tarot cards. We're skipping the intuitive cards today because I want these readings to be kind of short. Or at least that's what I plan for. Y'all already know what happens when I say I'm going to do short readings. All right. What are people secretly thinking and saying about my pile number 1? We have the 8 of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Wands. We have the Magician. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles. Nice. All right, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Moon card. All right, pile number 1. So first things first, people think that you are very mysterious here with the Moon card, or very, very deep, especially when someone starts talking to you. You could be very quiet, very introverted. You could not have much to say. But when you do open your mouth and speak, people listen here. I feel like people would like to know more about you. You might not post everything on social media, or if you do post things on social media, they could just be like, I don't know, just like sharing random memes. Like, this pile gives me the energy of not telling a business to anybody and just keeping a lot of things to yourself. And so now people feel like you are mysterious, right? And they want to know more about you with this Moon card here. Also, you could be psychic with this Moon card here. So people definitely feel like you have some gifts that you are not showing people fully 100%, especially with this Moon card and the 6 of Pentacles here. Also, people feel like you are resilient in whatever you put your mind to. And this could be work, creative projects, or anything that you pick up. And I'm getting that sense because if you see this 8 of Pentacles cards here, on one end, which is this bottom end, you see someone who is drawing pentacles and they have everything that they need. He has like a feather, he has a ruler, he has everything that he needs to create this pentacle. But on this end, you see this person has like dirty brushes and he is painting with his fingers and his colors are not as vibrant. So this really tells me that people think that you work with whatever you are given, especially with this 2 of Wands here as well. On one end of this card, this person is climbing up this mountain and everything seems fine, right? They're both rock climbing. But on this other end, he's climbing up this mountain and it seems to be crumbling, right? It seems like he's gonna fall. And even though he is falling, or it could be unstable, like he's still giving it his all. So this indicates to me that you could have come from a background where maybe you didn't have much, but like whatever you had, like you make it work, right? So you really use your skills, you really use your gifts to your advantage. And it also indicates to me that if you fail or people view you as maybe somebody who is failing, you keep going, right? You don't need paintbrushes to paint your pictures, right? And you can use your fingers. You don't care how many times this mountain crumbles. Like, you're going to keep going. You're going to keep climbing that mountain, because eventually, like, you're not going to fall. Eventually, you're going to find a part of this cliff that is stable enough for you to climb up. And people think that it is going to pay off here, especially with this Magician card and the Six of Pentacles. We can see in these two cards, like, they're on the lighter side, right? So people think that you have everything that you need to be successful. You could be a witch if you chose this pile, or a manifester. People could be talking about how you be doing like spells or spell work, especially with this Magician card here. Or you use your gifts to your advantage. Something about your gifts being very, very unique as well. I also feel like there was a little bit of gossip on the way that you live your life. So if you are newly spiritual, or like came out of the broom closet and told people, you know, maybe you were a witch or something, I do feel like at one point people who didn't necessarily understand thought that maybe you were doing like I don't know, like some black magic or something like that. But I feel like as time has progressed, those rumors have slowly died out and went away, because people can see your work, right? And people can see the progress that you've made. All right, we got the Knight of Cups. Let's make sure you can see these cards. We have the Chariot. Let's see. We have the Strength card. And then we have the Six of Swords. I feel like people view you as having multiple sides, right? And it really depends on how somebody approaches you. That depends on what side of you they're gonna get, right? I feel like you can mirror people's energy. So somebody who comes to you on bullshit is gonna get, you know, bullshit pile number one. Or if people feel like they can walk all over you because you seem, some people think you seem maybe like a little like naive or like super optimistic. So I just get a sense that some people try you, pile number one, and they are surprised when you snap back at their ass. Or maybe you have an appearance that seems like you don't really know much, and then as soon as you open your mouth and you start to speak, people realize that you're actually very, very intelligent, very, very intellectual, and you have a lot to say. You definitely think outside of the box here, and it makes people want to approach you. You could have a few people who have crushes on you just because of what you're doing. I don't know what it is, but something that you're doing seems different. It seems out of the norm. And so people are very, very intrigued. So if you do share a picture with your family, or you do upload something to social media, you really give people just a taste, and, you know, they want to know more about you. Right? And y'all heard that? That's confirmation. Now with this Chariot card here, this is back to this resilience. Pile number one ain't giving up. And it doesn't matter who doesn't believe in you, right? You don't need a parade of people to believe in you to keep going. And with this Chariot card here, he's still moving forward, but he's being attacked, right? So you got some haters here, pile number one. And so people really are hating on whatever you're trying to do. You could have people who like sending you negative energy. I'm hearing maybe some people have done some spell work on you, but it's like you keep getting up and you keep moving forward regardless, right? Like you see how this person is moving forward with, even though all of these spears are being thrown at them. And that is definitely my pile number one. No matter how many people try to slow you down, like, you are going to keep going. You are going to keep moving forward. And that's why we have this Strength card here. You could definitely be a fire sign or a water sign. You don't have to be, but you know, you are very, very strong. And it's not in physical strength either, pile number one. It is inner strength, right? You always get back up. And I don't even believe that you are a person to fight fire with fire. So if somebody talks shit about you, you're not going to turn around and talk shit about them. Or if somebody sends you some negative energy, you're not going to reverse it. You're not going to send it back, because I feel like you understand that there is a strength, or there is strength, excuse me, in softness. There is strength in vulnerability. There is strength and showing compassion and empathy and love for people. And I feel like people can really see that about you. Now, we do have some people from your past here who, they don't have good intention for you, right? They want whatever you're working on to fail, or to knock you off your high horse, right? And these are whoever are, you know, sending you these spears here, just like I said, hating on you, especially with this Six of Swords and this Six of Pentacles. This is definitely people who know that you are gifted, who try to maybe pull you back to the person who you used to be, or maybe bring up the person who you used to be, or maybe even do that in conversation with other people, because I definitely see a little bit of gossip, a little bit of like talking about you here in the air of just, you know, you being clueless and not really having a sense of direction. But like, no one is supposed to understand your path but you, pound number one. And I also feel like there are some people who look at you and they wonder why you are still giving people from your past like the time of day. Ooh, this is juicy. All right, check this out. So you have somebody from your past, could be a friend, family member, somebody from your past who has talked shit about you or gossiped about you to other people. And these same people are seeing you finally for who you are. And so all of these lies that were spread about you, they are finally starting to see is false, pound number one. But you could still be talking to the person who spread all of these rumors about you. And people are just looking like, you know, like, why are they still talking to this person? Like, if they only knew. So I wouldn't be surprised if you got like a phone call or a message or something was revealed to you that somebody in your life isn't as genuine as you thought they were. But let's go here. We're going to get some oracle cards, and then we're going to wrap it up for my pile number one. What are people secretly thinking and saying about my pile number one? We have travel, which is the Six of Swords again in this particular deck. And then we have beauty. Yeah, I figured that was coming out. Look, pile number one, you real pretty or whatever. But not only are you real pretty, you are very, very smart as well. We have prosperity. So I feel like at first glance, when people see you, they see you as some sort of beautiful person who they feel like life has come easy for, or maybe you don't really know much because you're beautiful, or you don't really have to try too hard because you're pretty. And then you open your mouth and you are very intellectual as well. And so it really makes people want to listen to what you have to say and explore you a lot further. But you don't really let people close to you. And so people really be trying to plot on how they can get close to you, low key. Now we got travel here. You could travel a lot, or you could even be planning to move somewhere. Some of y'all, there's some talk about somebody being pregnant. I don't know who that's for, but we're just going to touch on that just a second. I definitely see some pregnancy here. Or something about your body being curvy or getting more curvy. You could be gaining a little bit of weight here, pile number one. And if you are insecure about it, people are loving it, okay? There is something about you either being like a BBW and beautiful, or just something about your body being curvy that is coming through. But people definitely feel like whatever gifts you have or whatever talent you have, pile number one, is going to lead you to a lot of prosperity. Or you could even come across like real bougie or whatever, like you have money. Not saying that you don't have money, but people just assume that about you, like the way that you put yourself together, the way that you present yourself. For people who don't know you personally, you just appear as to be very, very financially stable. What are people secretly thinking or saying about my pile number 1? All right, we have peace. It says, I am a being of love. I release all negative energy. And then we also have failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. And then we have balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. People would definitely think that you're a very, very balanced person, right? Like a good balance of beauty and brains. And you have some people who definitely think that you are a very, very peaceful person. You're non-confrontational, but you will pop off if you have to. And I see you having just like a very peaceful energy about you, which definitely draws people to you, pile number 1. Now, we do have failure here. So there is some people, and of course, we all have haters who think that you're gonna fail at whatever you're doing, or I think are secretly preying on your downfall, especially if you are sharing your dreams and aspirations with these people here. Like, I don't necessarily think that anyone is like plotting on you, although it could be different for all of you, because we have the magician and we have failure here. So like I was saying before, some of you could have had some spell work done on you, but if anybody is doing like spells or witchcraft on you, like that shit's just gonna bounce back off, right? It's not gonna work. But they're definitely trying to slow you down. They're definitely trying to make you fail, or at least hoping that you fail. And I'm getting the sense that it's just because your dreams, like you dream bigger than what people can imagine. And so people definitely put their insecurities on you. And because they don't have that same belief in their self, or maybe their physical reality or expectations of themselves is not as high as yours, it's, you know, they just feel like it'll never work, right? They're not as open-minded as you. And so we definitely got half and half in here. We got some people who are rooting for you and know that you're going to be successful, and then we got some haters who are preying on your downfall. But you know, if you don't got no haters, pile number 1, you ain't popping. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to end your reading there. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Hello to everyone who chose pile number 2. This is going to be your reading on what people are secretly thinking and saying about you. So we're going to jump right in with some tarot cards. On my pile number 2. All right, we have the High Priestess. We have the Three of Swords. We have the King of Pentacles. And then we have the Page of Swords. Ooh. Okay, we also have the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so there is a couple of messages coming through. It seems like there is 2 groups here, so we are going to talk about the first. So the first group are definitely my intuitives, my psychic, even my creators here with the Page of Swords. You could be doing something online. You definitely don't have to be. But with the Page of Swords here, this definitely indicates, it's like an online card, or like a online stalker type of card to me. You can deliver a message that helps people move on and heal. Pile number 2 with this High Priestess card and this Three of Swords. You see how this girl is like free from her heartbreak. She's embracing it. She's moving on. She's healing from it. She has finally pulled those swords out of her, and she is free. She's dressed in white, which also indicates innocence. And the reference that they are giving me is almost being baptized. So you could be a priest or high priestess of some sort, and not in your own right. This is for people who are actually like have a title, who've been like initiated, things like that. So people could definitely look to you for guidance here. And even if you haven't been initiated into something, or you're not like a priest, this just lets me know that there are a lot of people who look to you for guidance, when they are at a standstill in their life with the Two of Wands, or when they are having it hard and everything around them seems like it's crumbling, right? You see this guy who is climbing up this cliff and it's just crumbling around them or in front of him, and he's falling. So people look to you for some sort of guidance when it seems like their life is falling apart. And if you don't have a social media platform here, this could definitely just be in general in your life. It's like you give people a different perspective than what is presented in front of them. And I'm talking about like for people who are very, very practical, people who are obsessed with material possessions, or I'm hearing the physical constraints of this world, and you help people free themselves from that, or see things from a different perspective with your guidance, with your words here, pile number 2. But also to do this, you have had to go through a lot of healing yourself. You could be an earth sign. You definitely don't have to be here. But with this 3 of Swords and this Page of Swords, it seems like a lot of healing that you have had to go through yourself. And this is the only reason that you are able to show people how to do it, because this is something that you've been through. A lot of you have done a lot of like healing from either past relationships romantically, or like a child-parent relationship is what I'm seeing. And so it seems that people who are very, very close to you, who know about this, because this really does seem like I'm talking about people who are super close to my pile number 2, have really seen your progress here. And not only is this progress with money or your career or your business, this is just progress in the person that you have become. Because I'm seeing a lot of anger. You could have been somebody who was really, really angry at the people in your life or the people in your past for how they treated you. But after you released yourself, or you healed from that hurt, it just seems that you have transformed into a completely different person here, pile number 2. And people are definitely noticing that elevation, okay? It's like night and day, which is really, really beautiful. So the second group here, it seems like there is some sort of family dynamic going on here. You could be very, very spiritual, and you could have a husband or a wife who is very, very practical, and you guys have children. And so people are observing like your family on the outside looking in, and they're just like, how? Like, they are amazed at the trials and tribulations that you guys get through, or they don't understand how like 2 people like you guys can mix. So if you are married, or you have kids, or you just have recently gotten to like a relationship with somebody who is like the opposite of you, that's definitely the talk. And some people are definitely stalking your relationship online. And people are talking about how they feel like it's not going to work out, especially with this 3 of Swords here. Or maybe some of you have recently healed from a toxic relationship, like an empath narcissist relationship that people are talking about. But I'm definitely seeing a mixing of 2 energies, of 2 different people, 2 very, very different people who are very accepting of each other. And if you have children here, people are talking about how your children are very, very intellectual, very, very smart, and think outside of the box. So if you have had children with this person, like, people are just kind of like in awe on the way, maybe like you raise your kids, or like judging how you raise your kids, or something like that. All right, we got the 10 of Swords, we got death, We have the Strength card. And then we have the page, not the page, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Pile number 2 definitely has a lot of strength here, and I feel like not only are you very spiritual, pile number 2, but you are also very practical. And if this is not the case, then you could be very spiritual and your partner can be very practical, and it creates a very good balance. I feel like people on the outside looking in, what they're thinking is that you kind of take what you want, right? You understand that nothing is going to be handed to you in this life. And so they see you as a taker, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I feel like there's definitely some people who you don't talk to anymore who are stalking you online, pile number 2. This could be, I'm hearing ex-business partners for a lot of you. Maybe you used to work with somebody and now you're thriving, you're flourishing, like people who you used to collaborate with wanted to collaborate with you again. And if not, this is definitely maybe like family, friends, exes who really want a piece of whatever pie you are baking, okay? Even people who have tried to take things from you, stolen from you, maybe taking your ideas or things like that. But I just heard something about nothing is like the original. You could be taking your energy back from a lot of different things as well. There's something very innovative about you, very alternative about you, very fresh. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's High Priestess card, right? You see the traditional High Priestess on like one side, and then you see somebody here with like the shorter dress, and she's just like a little bit different. So it's just like you could be psychic, but you could present your gifts in like a different sort of way, or your gifts could be different than other people's, or you could just do something differently. I also feel like you don't show your hand. Like nobody knows what pile number 2 is going to be up to next. And so you're really hard to kind of keep tabs on. You catch on quick to things as well. People definitely feel like you're blessed. And for people who try to act like they don't see your blessings here, right? We got this Page of Swords. And if y'all notice, this Page of Swords is looking the other way, right? At all these blessings, at all this prosperity, all these gifts. But just know that this Page of Swords is looking at you, even though they try to act like they are not watching you, pile number 2. You definitely have some people watching you who are just hoping, all right, that pile number 2 don't make it. People who have hurt you in the past, try to kind of keep that under wraps. For some reason here is what I'm seeing with this Ten of Swords and this High Priestess card. I feel like people who have done you bogus, who have backstabbed you, who have not been there for you. And the examples that they are giving me is, let's say you had a best friend and y'all aren't friends anymore, and somebody else sees them and they're just like, hey, where's pile number 2? Like, weren't y'all besties? And they're just like, oh, we don't talk anymore. And they're just like, dang, what happened? And that person actually like did you bogus or like did something crazy to you. That person would never say anything, right? They would just be like, oh, well, you know, pile number 2 got too busy, or, you know, we just didn't see eye to eye. Or they try to kind of like downplay what they did to hurt you, because they really did want to hurt you, pile number 2. Especially with this Three of Swords, this Death card, this Ten of Swords, this Strength here. I just feel like they wanted to take like whatever you had with this Ace of Pentacles, but they didn't. But we're going to move on because I feel like this reading is getting so long and I could talk for days, but I won't. So let's go ahead. We're going to get some Oracle cards. What people thinking about my pile number 2. Some people think you stingy, whether it be with money or time. All right, we have change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. And we have self-esteem. I possess the gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. We have regret at the bottom of the deck. I know that I cannot change the past. So this is a lot of like orange and kind of like red to me. So the lower three chakras, excuse me, which are the masculine ones, if I'm not mistaken. So just from that energy, I don't know why I feel like a lot of exes want you back. And I don't know why I'm being guided to say that. But people could also see you as a very, very grounded person. But people who have hurt you in the past definitely regret it here, pile number 2. You seem a lot more confident. People feel like you have changed, feel like you have grown up, like you walk with confidence and, you know, acceptance in yourself. And kind of like it's all about you, right? Like you believe in yourself and you know you deserve good things. And people could definitely tell. We got reconciliation and prosperity that popped out. All right, we have well-being. Damn, there's so many cards that are popping out. People definitely have a lot to say about my pile number 2, okay? What are people thinking and saying about my pile number 2? We have freedom. And then we have psychic abilities, right? We have the high priestess here. We got psychic abilities. You show people their worth, pile number 2, and you deliver a message in a way where I feel like multiple people can understand. People with different backgrounds, people who have different interests. And you definitely give people hope that they can and will change, and their life can and will get better, even if they don't see it. And that even if they are feeling trapped, right? With this freedom here, this is like the devil card, right? So, you know, in toxic relationships, toxic energy, or just anything that they feel like are holding them back or holding them captive, you definitely give people hope that they can get through it and let them know that they have the key to free themselves, right? And take care of themselves. And I feel like you set an example for people is really what it is, right? You're just not talking out of your ass. You're like, I'm only telling you this because I done this, right? Like, and you can really give people examples from your own life, right? You're not giving somebody advice and being like, oh, well, you know, I read it in this book and this book says A, B, and C. You're like, yo, I put my hand in the fire and that shit hurt, okay? And it burned and it scabbed over and my skin was peeling and I got pictures. Look at these pictures. And people are just like, God damn, all right. Like, I don't want to touch fire. That shit is hot. And so you definitely set an amazing example for people here, pile number 2. Very, very gifted, very, very beautiful soul. And, you know, you've been through a lot, pile number 2. And I want to say that you are going to continue to go through a lot, not in a negative way, not saying that a tower or anything like that is coming, but any obstacle or adversity that is presented in front of you is only meant to you. It's only meant for you, excuse me, to learn from, so you can guide the way and teach other people. So that is super, super dope, pile number 2. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end your reading here. Thanks so much for letting me read for you today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Hello to everyone who chose pile number 3. This is going to be your reading on what are people secretly thinking or saying about you. All right, so we're going to jump right in with some tarot for my pile number 3. We got the Moon card, We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Nine of Swords. And then we have the World card. All right. We also have the Star card at the bottom of the deck. There's some sort of mental illness going on here, and that's not going to be for everybody. Definitely take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But you are battling, or people are thinking that you're battling some sort of illness. I'm hearing schizophrenia for someone specifically, or like some sort of like personality disorder that you are overcoming, right? With this Star card here. I feel like you are doing a lot of maybe like therapy or treatment, and whatever illness that is happening, people are definitely noticing that it is getting better for you, pal number 3, especially with this World card here. It's kind of like night and day. With the Moon card here and the Nine of Swords, it definitely kind of indicates like confusion, or maybe something that was passed down that you are overcoming. If this is not it, you could also be caring for a family member. And like I said, I know this is not going to be for all of you. This is definitely very specific. You could be caring for a family member that has mental illness, maybe like a mother or a grandmother who has like dementia or something like that. And people definitely see you as a saint or a healer, or just a very, very good person to have cared for this family member. You could also be a nurse, or you could work in the medical field, or you could even study medicine if you don't work directly with patients. And I see people viewing pile number 3 as making a difference in either their own life or making a difference in someone else's life, right? Even if it's not as deep as you being a nurse, you could just, you know, maybe work at a nursing home and care for older people. If this is not it, you could have recently dealt with a death of a loved one, pile number 3. And to be honest, I don't know why I'm getting the feeling, but you got a lot of people praying for you. You could be depressed, or you could be taking it very, very hard. Or maybe this has happened to you in the past and people are just seeing you like come out of this on top. Or it looks like if something affected your life in one way, you are finally starting to come out of it, and things could be getting back to normal for you, right? Quote unquote. I know, you know, when you deal with a death in the family, like nothing will ever be normal. But you could be just kind of doing like some everyday things. But I don't know, I'm just getting the sense of people being really worried about pile number 3 at one point, and you making a lot of progress and people worrying less about you. And if this is not it, I feel like pile number 3, especially with this Ace of Wands here, you could be very, very creative, or you could have just gotten like an opportunity for a new creative endeavor. People are really trying to guess what you are about to come up with next. We got the Moon card here. I feel like pile number 3 doesn't show their hand until they're about to do it. We got the Two of Wands. I feel like every single pile has gotten the Two of Wands in the same exact position as well. We have the King of Wands. Could be a fire sign. Definitely don't have to be. We have the King of Swords. And then we also have the Knight of Wands here for my pile number 3. I feel like you don't show people the process, pile number 3, and it definitely annoys a lot of people, especially with this Moon card here and this Two of Wands, because you see this person like working and making progress. getting up the side of this cliff and maybe falling and failing. Like, you don't let people see you stressed out. You don't let people see you vulnerable. And people could only assume that you are vulnerable or that you're going through a hard time. Maybe people closest to you know this, but you are very, very good at masking your feelings, masking your emotions here, pile number 3, especially with this 2 of Wands and the Moon card. And really masking your struggles is what it is. And so people are only able to see the fruit of your labor, of the results, right? Nobody knows that you had to create 100 different prototypes before you found something that will work out, right? They only see the product. So if you're a business owner here, pile number 3, you could have people on the outside looking in being like, damn, like, how does pile number 3 just like come up with these amazing things in their head and they just present it and it's perfect and it's amazing, like, but people low-key think that you hiding something. Or if you are having a hard time, like I said, people are thinking that like you're just masking it, right? Like you're just acting happy, you're acting like everything's okay when it's really not. You could have trouble asking for help here, pile number 3. You definitely could be a fire sign or an air sign. And I'm even getting an earth sign for some reason. There are some people around you who think and feel like that there is a better way for you to do things. And feel like you're stubborn and feel like you won't take help from other people. So you could have a problem just taking help from others. Also, you have some people around you feeling like you don't recognize your own power. And I'm really getting this from the Knight of Wands, right? So we have this knight who has like this staff, right? And it has this crystal in it. And instead of taking this staff and using this crystal and lighting up the sky or creating a path for themselves, it's like he doesn't even see it, right? He doesn't even see his own potential. And so you have a lot of people thinking that you have a lot of potential that you don't even see. Or just a better way of doing something that maybe that you're not seeing. But I only feel like it's because, again, they don't know your plan, or they don't know what you've been through, or they can't see how many times you have, like I said, made a prototype and practiced this in order to present it and come out on top. So you have somebody who is around you who feel like because you're not doing it their way that you're failing, or you're taking the harder way, or maybe not the easy way out. This is giving me an example of somebody who comes from a very, very wealthy family and has like an inheritance, but instead of taking that inheritance, they're just like, I don't want no money from y'all. Like, I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna get a degree and I'm gonna start my own business, or I'm gonna do this and do that. And like, this person wants to work on their own. And so a lot of people feel like you have advantages here, or resources, excuse me, that that you're not taking because you would rather like tough it out to like prove a fucking point or something like that. Also, another message that's coming through is you could have like a brother or a father or something like that I don't know if you are like competing with, or maybe even a twin, that people compare you guys. And so I feel like you could even be taking a different route, not to be compared to this person or to this twin, maybe even this parent, right? Maybe you're living up to like a legacy, or you want to build your own legacy. But people view you as somebody who is taking their own path, no matter what is presented in front of you, or no matter who tries to hand you something, right? So you didn't get like a small loan of $1 million from daddy to like start your business or anything like that. Like, you went and kind of people view you as like starting from scratch, right? Being self-made is what it really is for pile number 3. This is very, very interesting. I'm getting a lot of masculine energy from this pile, so definitely a lot of men could have chosen this pile. something about being in a position of power. You could be, you could like work in the authority or like government, police officer, something like that. I don't know, but I don't want this reading to be too long, so we're gonna move on. All right, let's get some oracle cards for pile number 3 so we can wrap it up. What are people thinking or viewing about my pile number 3? We have inspiration, of course, of course. Pile number 3, what else? We also have travel. We have compassion. Go ahead, we're gonna get the last oracle deck. So pile number 3, I don't know why I'm just getting the vision of like a knight or like a warrior or something like that. You could have moved away from your hometown or your home country, or just like travel to like make something of yourself, especially with this compassion and this world card here. I don't know why, I just get the sense that pile number 3 didn't, or people feel like you didn't take what was being handed to you and you went and created your own wealth, right? And it's really inspiring to people here with inspiration. You could definitely be a business owner, CEO, make a lot of money if you chose this pile, have a very, very high position if you chose this pile. People think that your job is very, very impressive. We got the King of Wands and the King of Swords. So if you don't have a brother or a twin or something like that, people feel like you definitely have a really, really good balance to you, pile number 3, as far as being inspired but also having a lot of logic, right? You're showing me a game of chess or a chessboard, right? So you don't show everyone all of your moves, but you're very, very smart and you're very, very strategic in making plans and making moves and doing things that will benefit you. Ooh, I don't know, your energy is just kind of strong. So kind of masculine. So even if you are a woman and you chose this pile, you carry a masculine energy, which is not a bad thing. It's just like you get shit done. I don't know, this definitely gives me a head of a household type of vibe, pile number 3. Like bring home the bacon, pile number 3. That like you don't need nobody else's table or a seat at anybody else's table because you are the motherfucking table, pile number 3. Is definitely the vibe that I'm getting. Or this is how people view you. All right. We have pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. And then we have abundance. We already knew that was coming out. I don't know why I feel the need to say Capricorn. You could be a Capricorn if you chose this pile. Definitely don't have to be. We have I am a limitless being. I can manifest whatever I desire into the physical reality. And then we have purpose. I know what I am here to do. Look, people feel like you have it all together, pile number 3. You could come off as a little bit cocky, right? Especially with 2 kings here. People think that although they may have a better way for you, you have your own plan. You're just like not willing to like listen to other people and like what they have to say. But they be kind of salty low-key because whatever plan that you have ends up working out with pride and abundance here. So they can't even say anything on the back end like, oh, I told you so. And you definitely have some people wishing that they could say I told you so here, pile number 3, but they don't want to admit that not only do you have the inspiration and that dreamer type of energy, but you have something very, very intellectual about you to where you just seem to make shit happen, right? You're a doer. You're a go-getter. And I feel like your confidence is mistaken for cockiness. I feel like a lot of people see pile number 3 as very, very successful, and a lot of people who are trying to tell you what to do benefit off of your success. So again, pile number 3 is the breadwinner. You could take care of your family. Pile number 3 definitely gives me the vibe of generational wealth, or being the breadwinner, or just being the head of household. So you could even take care of your extended family. They're showing me like an estate. And that's not going to be for all of you, but some people who pick this pile could be very, very wealthy, very, very rich. And you could just have a lot of assets. And then we have the star card here. So you could even be famous, pile number 3. And with compassion and this world here, you could be very, very well known. And not only do I feel like you have a title, but I feel like some people could come from a family that has like some sort of like reputation or something like that. I don't know why I'm getting that. And of course, it's not going to be for all of you, but definitely tailored to your situation. Regardless if that is true for you or not, pile number 3 seems to be very, very impressive. And so it's just like, even though people hate on you and people send you negative energy, like you're so confident and you shine so bright here, pile number 3, that it's just like, it's barely getting through the reading because your energy is just like, I'm pile number 3, I'm taking over, I'm here up in this bitch. Like that's just, it's like a God type of energy. Blessed, like I'm creating the life of my dreams. Very, very wise, like I'm following my destiny type of thing. Like, Jesus. Ooh, I wonder what sign you are. If you chose pile number 3, drop your sign down below. Like, drop what you do down below. It's very, very inspiring here, pile number 3. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to wrap it up. And I'm going to end your reading here. Thanks so much for letting me read for you today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to see you guys next time.